to the mic.
Let's watch this video and let me know what you think about it.
Okay, Keisha.
So my question is, should you have a man who doesn't help you financially, but he... hold up. Let me finish. But he does everything for you, like house husband, but you struggling with the bills.
Okay, so
she said a house husband.
A house husband.
Have you ever been a house husband?
I have never been a house husband.
Trey, you ever been a house husband?
Never.
Would you date a house husband?
So let me say this, y'all. I have dated a house husband at the age of 21. It was my very first fiance. I always say things are age appropriate. Okay, so at 21, I dated someone, got engaged to get married, didn't know he wanted to be a house husband until years to come, right? I thought he was a working, providing man, and when I found out he wanted to be a house husband, then I pivoted because that wasn't in alignment with what I wanted. And so what I have to say to you, sweetheart, is this. Relationships are curated subjectively. So if for you that position works well for you and you're satisfied in it, then run that play. But what I hear you saying is you're struggling in it. That means you're surviving and not thriving in that relationship. Okay. So if you're surviving in that, a relationship is not meant to be a wilderness. That means that is not your promised land or peace. And any man that can sit back and see you struggling is not a man that you should be choosing to build something with.
Do we have Kitty?
Well, does he separate the laundry? Because I think go ahead, Kitty.
Kitty, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna take it on a serious tip because that's where the imbalance happens when he is a house husband. No, nothing against house husbands. Right. But you have to understand that that's not really naturally his place. So if there is not enough masculine tendencies or enough things that are inducing his masculine traits, there will be an imbalance because that means that you have to pull more of your masculine traits. You have to be the one who's assertive and the one who makes decisions and have to be logical, and that's going to make you become anxious and depressed and tired and overworked and stressed because you're not leaning into your feminine traits. Right. So if you're not doing enough of that, you're having to pull into your masculine, he's pulling more into his feminine traits, so then you're going to see him becoming clingy and needy and complaining more because he's not doing enough on his masculine side. That's where the imbalance comes in homes. I completely understand that it's not traditional. This is more of the modern way of living, but there has to be some type of balance. So if you're going to have that, if you're really struggling with it and you really want to be able to pull from it to create some type of balance, encourage him to do more masculine things.
Ace.
Go ahead.
Facts. Clap it up.
Go ahead.
Ace, let me work a 12-hour shift. I come home and that spaghetti ain't hot. Nigga, I might put my hands on you, nigga. The fuck?
Is it? I've heard women say, tell me if it's true or not, that the sex is better when the bills is paid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, let me comment on that. First fiance wanted to be the house husband, y'all, right? Y'all hear me? All right. The second fiance, because y'all know I've been engaged twice, called off 2 weddings, but that's a whole nother segment. The second fiance, he decided he wanted to take full care of me. And let me say this. My sex is good either way, but my sex was fire when all the bills was paid and I was well taken care of. And it goes to that equally yoked being honored. What I was saying to you is that if a woman doesn't feel honored and a woman doesn't feel covered and there's no provision, then a woman naturally doesn't feel the desire to submit. Yeah. Good sex is about submission. It's not about just being nasty or freaky, because you can have nasty, freaky sex and it can still be horrible after the orgasm. But when you are in a state of full submission, because this man is fully covering you and everything about you is turning you on, how do you think it's gonna do for him when you lay with him and you have intimacy with this man? Because you're not only making love to the man that you're attracted to, you're making love to the man that's covering you. And that's a whole different level of intimacy right there.
Woo! Hold on, let me ask a question real quick. This man has a job or he doesn't have a job?
He doesn't want to work.
Okay, but hold on. Do he want, because a lot of people didn't want to work after COVID. Can a nigga make a candle? Because Etsy businesses have been blowing up. But 2022, Etsy businesses have been blowing up. Can the nigga make a candle?
All right, so here's the thing. Hold on. Now, I'm gonna say this. Let's dial this back. Let's dial this back. Because for a second I was about to get kind of serious. I want to play, you know, devil's advocate. Because here's the thing, especially in this economy, sometimes it's harder for people to help other people with their bills. What I'm saying is, I'm barely getting by on my bills.
You need to be single, nigga. Don't look like you need to be. Why? It's always the brokest niggas that want to look for love. Why can't you look for employment, nigga? Stop wasting my time. Don't make me angry. Don't make me angry up in this bitch now today.
Hey, this ain't the spirit. This ain't the conversation for that. Thank you for your question. Thank you.
I'm sorry for cutting you off.
But
what was you gonna say?
But I was gonna say this. I was gonna say that it depends if this man, if she has said he was working and I just don't have a surplus to help you with your shit, that's different. Because we're not yoked as one. You, your person, I'm my person. And here's the thing, it's more alarming that you can't take care of your shit. I'm taking care of mine. So just because I don't have the extra to take care of yours right now doesn't mean I'm less masculine or less man. It just means that shit is hard and y'all can go,
because why are we living
but y'all
together?
done fucked broke niggas before.
But we living together. Oh my God.
Hey, nah, can I?
This woman didn't say that the man was going half. She said he did not want to work. That's
I acknowledge that. I said, now that's a different story. But to play devil's advocate, what if he's better with the children?
But that's not what she said.
What if he is the homemaker?
The children in school 7 to 3, nigga.
All right, okay, y'all right, Trill.
Again, like, just before we go any further, I think like women gotta be honest with the type of women they are. Let's just be honest. Every woman is not ready to follow tutelage, regardless of how good it is, regardless how great the plan is. She's so used to leading that it doesn't matter how great his plan is, she's gonna try to step in and grab the steering wheel anyway, right? So we gotta be honest. And look, don't do that. Don't do that. And that's the dope part about relationships, right, is that we get to carve the blueprint ourselves. We don't gotta emulate shit. And that's the issue. It's a lot of people out here in relationships that's trying to emulate shit that they don't fit. If you a woman who used to making the decisions, you comfortable making the decisions, you the one that handle the finances best, you the woman that make the decisions best, and you get with a man who's okay with you taking care of that doesn't like speak to that man being deficient or whatever the case may be. That speaks to you picking a man who fits with what you do best.
Hey, Trill, you know how she said she was in a relationship with a man was a house husband and a man that covered her, and how the sex was a lot more bond with the man that covered her. Imagine how good this nigga dick gonna be if he ain't gotta worry about the bills. This nigga, while you at work, he worried about how the fuck he gonna fuck you when you get home. Dick always stay hard. I mean, he giving you a good hour every night because he ain't stressing about bills or work or a job. Go ahead.
Let me clear it up. Let me clear it up. What I said was not just that my sex was better for him. What I said was me enjoying the sex, meaning his sex was better on the receiving end when I was covered, taken care of, because it also brought out a feminine softness in me that I didn't even know I had. So me being in the relationship with him made me fall more in love with me because the soft me came out. And even when I went to check him, I didn't check him like this. I checked him like, baby, there are some things we need to talk about. I was disarming. I wasn't going to war. See, a man who comes in and makes you have to be in a wilderness will have you at war. But a man who can put you in your safe space and in your feminine will have you in your promised land. And the things that women do in the promised land are things that, baby, you can only imagine when you get there. Okay?
All right, listen. Go ahead.
This is just a statement. This is what I heard statistically. Broke nigga dick feel like depression. That's what they say statistically. I'm not sure.
But okay. All right. Because what I don't want is for every woman in here to leave thinking that they gonna snatch them a nigga that can pay all the bills. Because statistically, that's not the reality. Now, if you want to be one of those women, there's probably some work you would have to do to be able to attract that type of man. And I think that's the disconnect. I never have a problem with a woman saying, I want a man that can be that protector and provider and take care of all the bills. But my thing is, what else are you bringing to the table?
I know she got it.
Go ahead.
I know she got
Go
a
ahead.
question. I don't want to make it longer, but it just seemed like there's never in the middle. And I think women now are looking for a partner because it's always like an extreme. You either got a provider, don't work. Here's an allowance. Here's $13. Make it stretch, bitch. And he the one that pay all the bills, or you got a house husband that can't make a candle, and you struggling to keep the lights on. So I guess my question is it not attractive for a man to want to be just a partner right in the middle? We split chores, we split, I guess, bills, if you want to say 50-50 or 70-30, whatever you want to do.
I think it depends on the man. I can speak for myself. The person I was able to show up as, and this is probably faulty. I'm not saying that this is perfect. But when I was able to be a full provider, when I was able to be grounded in my business and my purpose, I showed up as a better man in that relationship. And so I think some men struggle because it's not that I'm not happy here, but I'm not happy with myself. I'm not happy with the results I'm getting. So I don't have that confidence to be assured here with you, all right? So I think it's a difference. Some people are cool with the partnership, and I believe most people are because that's where most people live at. So that's that.
Wait, one more thing. I know I'm sorry, we making this long. Real quick, because it took kind of to Trill's point. Some women, I ain't talking about none of y'all here, of course, right? No. But none of us. But some women choose the house husband because they're too insecure for the man that they really want. And so a lot of times it's accountability. And so a lot of times, women, we have to also look at ourselves and say, what part of us is choosing that part of that man? Because what part of us is dishonoring ourselves? Because this is the thing, whatever somebody's done to you, you've already done to yourself. And so you have to figure out, where is this familiar to me? Where is it familiar for me to be the breadwinner, for me to be the provider, for me to be so alpha? Where is this familiar to me? Where did I learn this? How do I unlearn it? How does it become unfamiliar to me? How do I reprogram myself, which H said, do the work so that I can calibrate and really attract that at which I want, so I'm not out of alignment in my relationship. Every time I enter into a new relationship, I get a different person, but the same spirit and the same experience, and it becomes a fucking same issue.
Clap it up, clap it up. What's your name? What's your question?
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hi. My name is T-Time, and I got a two-part question.
Go ahead.
So, I need y'all to hear exactly what I'm saying, okay? What can a man get from a wife that he absolutely cannot get from a girlfriend?
Woo! Anybody got something for this?
Mentality, permanence, covenant, favor, vows,
Come on, Daddy.
stability,
Come on, Daddy.
emotional and spiritual oneness,
Come on, Kitty.
the greatest commitment between a man and a woman, anointings, principle, morality. The list can go on, baby.
Done.
The list can go
Marco.
on, baby. It can go
Can
on,
I hear
baby.
from the men? I need to hear from the men.
I think it's hard to follow that without saying some toxic shit.
Right, that's what I was about to say too.
because I was about to go on and say true.
Come on. Come on,
But
Ace. Keep it
women
real.
will give all that stuff you saying to a nigga without that marriage and that ring still.
Keep it real.
And so a lot of men don't feel incentivized to go to that next level because I'm getting all those things that you just said
Can I ask you a
for
question?
free. What's up?
Okay, so facts, right? But don't most men require that before they say that they'll marry you, right? Because most men will say
No, that's
that
the
they
game.
need.
That's the game.
Oh, is that the game?
That's the game.
Okay.
Because I want what I want now, and I'm speaking to toxic. I said I'm embracing toxic niggas. I want what I want now, and I know in order to get that, I gotta dangle a carrot in front of your face in order to give you what I want now in exchange of a maybe later. What happens is you allow a man to put you on layaway, and you give him full benefits of you right now. You allow that man to eat at your all-you-can-eat buffet, and then you say pay later if you feel like it. That nigga's already full. I'm walking out. What the fuck I gotta pay for? How many men have left you better than when they found you, and you left worse? Because you poured into that man, and that man didn't have to pour into you. What I'm saying is, it's all good when you hear it and say, a man is saying, okay, I'm going to in the future. Maybe, I'm working on it. But you don't get to say that back to him. If you don't show up complete now, that nigga don't want you. If you're not giving him the current benefits now, that man don't want you. But yet he get to slide on that in the future shit. So what I'm saying is, what you said is correct. But it's something about when you introduce a man with swag that changes all that shit.
But let me...
Kitty, what's up?
Oh my God, that was cute. That was cute. There's a difference. There's a shift that takes place when you go over into a wife. And the problem is a lot of girlfriends that you are talking about are not called to wifehood. There's a difference. Some of them are playing in that position. But when you marry, when you have prepared yourself to be a bride for your husband, and you actually take on that vow and you do this under the covenant of God, there is a mentality shift that takes place. There's a spiritual shift that takes place. There is a different type of anointings because a girlfriend won't understand that this is permanent. That means we are here. We are fighting through this. We can't run from house to house. We can't run to another person because we are under a covenant of God. That means that we have agency over our own decisions. We have anointings in the understanding of our husband. We have anointings in our conflict. We have anointings in our disagreements. That is the difference between a wife and a girlfriend. And unless you were called to wifehood, you will never understand it.
You know what? You are absolutely right. I have no rebuttals. Anybody else? Hold on, Trill, because they going off. Trill, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't disagree with nothing Kitty's saying, but I think that most women give that to a man without him even being exclusive with you, if we're gonna be honest. I think that women, like when they run into a man that they like a lot, they don't differentiate girlfriend from wife. They start doing wife shit before he earned wife responsibilities. You see what I'm saying? So as a man, there's no incentive. If I come in and you giving me 98% of the benefits that come with you without me having to put in no kind of work or having to earn nothing that comes with you, like, it's just like, what's the incentive?
Shouldn't you want to earn it, you logical leader? You protector and provider? Shouldn't you want to earn? I'm confused.
Yeah, but again, like, should I want to, like, why would I want to earn something that I have already without having to do it? Like, that's the thing. Like, women got to be firm on what it is that they demand, firm on their requirements, and most women are not firm with their requirements when it comes to niggas that they actually like. So as a man, again, I ask, what incentive do I have to treat you like a wife or whatever the case may be if I'm getting white benefits with you, treating you like an option?
Well, I think only husbands get their dick sucked in. We need to.
No,
we need to make it. He said there wasn't an incentive.
No.
Marry me. You want that gok. Marry me.
No. We are not taking out the plate, Fontaine.
That's crazy. That shit is crazy. I think we speaking up here currently. We speaking in ideal terms. Then we speaking in extreme terms that are possible but may not be true for everybody. I think what's true for the general body is that whatever your religion is, God ain't got nothing to do with who you dating, why you think you should be married. I'm gonna dig a little further, don't worry. It was a lot of clapping, hooting, hollering, cutting up and carrying on when Kitty was saying what she was saying. But the most important part was talking about being called into wifehood, which means that you have an understanding prior to being married that this is a part of your duty to the Most High. So when I say for most folks, God ain't got nothing to do with why you out here dating who you dating and looking at who you, I mean that you didn't invite God until it was time for the wedding. And he was just on the guest list. It wasn't the authoritative figure, just on the guest list. Lord, I think I got her. If you don't mind sliding through, I would like to make an honest woman out of her. As opposed to, Lord, is this her? When I meet her, Lord, is this her? Make it obvious, right? Am I supposed to be with this person? Am I supposed to be amongst the? And I'm not condemning nobody or nothing like that. I'm just saying that it was a whole lot of noise for something I think a whole lot of people don't really be doing. Because Covenant is a different thing. We're not just talking about marriage, right? When she's talking about being called into wifehood, this is to say that, like in the Bible, it says, a man that find a wife findeth a good thing. Now, before we flex on that, you have to understand that every man is not called to find one. Look at how many great men in the Bible did not have one.
Yep.
That wasn't a part of his work. That wasn't a part of how he was chosen to honor God. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the way we've made tradition out of everybody being married and everybody should, that's not true according to the tradition you're trying to base it in. And so if every man is not called to husbandry, then that means that every woman is truthfully not called. And I'm not saying this to be disparaging to people. I'm saying if God got something to do with why you get married, whether that's a law, whether that's, I don't care what you call it. Go to that first. Do you understand how many problems that will solve if you profess to be a person of faith? Why is your faith not with you when you out here dating? That's what I'm saying. And so what we talking about right here, you got to have done your work and been called on your journey with God before we start talking about marriage and husbands and wives and stuff like that. That's why, like, bro, and I'm not my fault to drag on, but like, people be asking me in my DMs all the time, Trip, why you not married? Why you single? Because I'm chasing God and my purpose. Do you know how many times I was almost there? Bro, there's been 2 women in my life. Like, we had the wedding colors picked out and everything. You think that there's times that I don't want to, like, not be alone? You don't think it's times that I struggle, times that I be sad, times that I be on the same shit everybody else on, wishing I had some guy? But if that's not where the cards fall right now, then my obedience is much more important than my temporary satisfaction. You feel me? So what I'm saying to y'all is, like, again, bruh, I'm not telling you to live your life alone. I ain't telling you to become some hermit or some shit like that. Like, bruh, do your thing. But, like, if marriage is your goal, the stuff that she talking about, the way she talking about it, then God should probably be at the table before the wedding reception. You know what I mean?
Hey. Let me clap it up. All right, I'm about to get soft real quick. Because I think one of my biggest, I'm going to speak to the brothers, one of the saltiest things is losing a wife. Let me rephrase this. One of the saltiest things is losing a woman that was a wife before because you wasn't also a husband before. You fell in love with her because she had these wifely qualities. She was called to be a wife. She presented herself as a wife. Like they say, you have to be a wife if you always have to be a wife. Now, for a lot of men, though, you'll be attracted to that woman that already embodies that, but you're not husband spirit yourself. You don't have it. And so what you try to do is you try to get those qualifications as you're dating her, but it doesn't happen instantaneously. So now you fumble the woman that you could have seen a life with, but you didn't prepare yourself before also. So ladies, one of the biggest things that I would implore you guys to do is to find a man that was that husband first. It's how he deals with people around him. It's the character and the air that he has. He already has morality within himself. He ain't in the streets because he don't want to be in the streets. And like Tripp said, he is looking for his wife. He is looking for that capable wife before he even meets you. And he's looking for a woman to fit inside that. And you just don't want to be a guy out here dugging and shit in the club at 52, lonely as fuck, talking about where the fucking hoes at. It's a sad life, nigga. It's a sad life. You had a part 2? What's your part 2? They whispering, you got a part 2 or?
Oh yeah. But I'm gonna start it, but I'm gonna let her finish because I don't want y'all to snatch my lace off, ladies. Okay? Because it's just hear me out. So, Ace, remember when you came on the stage and you was like, y'all be taking y'all man back, y'all be complaining to y'all friends, y'all. Is that why
Is what happened?
Is that why side chicks are really winning?
Who said side chicks was winning?
I did.
Hold on.
You did.
Hold on.
How long you been a side chick?
I ain't a side chick.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's ask.
I said let's get deep with it.
Let's
Okay.
ask the body
We can have
of
this
people.
conversation. We can have this conversation.
Let's unpack it.
Chicago, be real. Is side chicks winning?
Yeah.
Okay, hold Hold on. So here's the question. Here's a better rephrase of the question. Would you rather be the side chick or the wife that a man is cheating on?
Side chick.
Nigga, get that shit up. Come on.
It's niggas' fault that that's even a question. Before we end the episode, because I know we done hit the time. Real niggas, if all 13 of us is in the building. Because I know most of the dudes here got brought here with their old lady. Like, it's probably like 13 niggas here on their free will and accord. We fucked the game up. Fellas, we gotta hold this shit. And I'm coming from a former version of myself, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep it player with you niggas real quick. I don't know where niggas went wrong. That y'all hyped y'all side chick up to feel like she should even have the ability to call the house. Y'all up here going on real vacations with your side piece. Going on real dates. You hitting your side piece raw. The fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Like, I'ma keep it all the way 100 with y'all, bro. I didn't get out the game immature because I thought it was a good idea. I got out the game mature because the game was fucked up. Real nigga couldn't play no more. No, right. You got niggas out here treating every old thing, the motherfucking papados and shit like that. Now the side piece feel like she supposed to get the large and shit. Like, come on, fellas, we gotta do better. I ain't saying that y'all should be out here fucking around with no side piece, but I'm just saying she should clearly know her.
And then shit got too healthy. You became a wife, and shit got too biblical. Sometimes.
Wait, what's that, AK?
Sometimes. Wait. Sometimes we want the hoe that we signed up for. That's also a wife. Because you can do both. I think in a lot of these conversations, we kind of be forgetting, like, you either got to be this super church-going, holier-than-thou, healthy-ass woman, or you got to be a hoe. No, sometimes you can be both.
So a church hoe.
A church hoe.
This is the Tonight's Conversation podcast.
Why going crazy? I'm inaugurated. Want a little smoke, dog? It can get haze. Get what you gon' do about it? We gon' always run it back. What you know about it?
What's going on? It's your boy Ace Metaphor, and this is the Tonight's Conversation podcast, live from LA. Make some noise! We got our first question at the mic. What's your name? What's your question?
My name is Yahaira, and my question is, why doesn't he leave after 21 years of marriage if I already found out he has been cheating all along? He didn't think about his family then, why think about his family now?
So, why isn't he leaving? Him. Okay, so why isn't the man that's leaving that get to have his cake and eat it too? Why don't he leave? That's the question. Is that the question?
Yeah, that should not be the question, but that is the question.
What the question should be?
The question should be, and I wrap this up with love, is why are you still there? Why are you still allowing him to dishonor you? Okay. So you waiting for him, who has you as his convenience, has you as his doormat. You allow him to come and go at his availability to you, and you want him to dog you and leave you? Let me tell you something, baby girl. I'd stay there too. It's up to you to set appropriate boundaries, to get your self-love muscle up, and for you to pivot the relationship. And sometimes you gotta go, I've said it before on this panel, you gotta go broken, you gotta go confused, you gotta go hurt. But the point is, the best thing you can do for some people is to leave their motherfucking ass.
Clap it up. You know what's interesting? You know, on a previous episode, I talked about side chick math. Like, a lot of times, the reason people don't leave is because they don't want her all by herself.
There you go.
Like, I like the addition that she's bringing to what the fuck I got on, right? So it's like the foundational things, those things that you bring as a wife, those boring quote unquote things, those making sure that he ate, making sure that his mental was good, making sure he getting to the motherfucking doctor, making sure that he's doing all those things. Those are the things that he really needs. She may be fun though. And a lot of times, some men are smart enough to know that that other person has no substance. And the reason they're there is just to play. And that's why what I'm saying to you is this man is willing to risk his own family for fucking fun. And this is why you have to make a decision. Anybody else?
Come on, Miss Kitty, I'm ready. Come on, Miss Kitty.
I'm just gonna add on to what you just said, because some men know that you care for them so well that they will hate to see you with another man and nurturing and loving another man, and so they stay right there. They'll take you through the ringers and all of the valleys because they don't want to see you happy with somebody else, and they don't want someone else to have access to that. Back to what Dr. Bryant was saying though, because we're going to add on to that. We should never just focus on why someone won't do something. It's many of reasons. That's too layered for us to focus on that. But I have to recognize when a person is now too costly for me. You are costing me my health, my happiness, my joy, my peace. Before any man came into any one of y'all lives, y'all were valuable before that man got there. And it's not going to be until you recognize how valuable you are. You are valuable. You were valuable from the beginning. In the womb, you were valuable. God paid a high ransom for you. I want you to remember that. So always remember that humans are going to disappoint you. And I understand that we're talking about marriage here, but you've already broken this marriage. You stepped out. And now after you have broken me down to where I have to pick myself back up from these pieces, you want to come back in and get this reward now? You want to get the part of me that I had to work so hard to build up? You don't have access to that anymore. Because you could have did right. You could have never strayed over that fence to begin with. You could have worked on whatever problems we had. But that's also the other issue. Let me add one more piece. When a person has lust in their heart,
tell them,
it will consume them. And I was just telling my best friend this, lust always needs an escape plan because it's always looking for intensity. And when there's no longer intensity in marriage, because we know it goes up and down, there's no longer that fantasy, they start looking over the fence. And when lust consumes you, no matter where it is, you're going to try to find an escape to get back to it. When you start recognizing that, be glad that God protected you from that. Could you imagine if somebody went outside of a marriage attached to all those demons and came back in and brought it to you? Amen. Look at how God trying to protect you. Always remember that. I'm speaking to all of y'all here. Always look at the moments where God was trying to protect you. When you couldn't sleep and you were crying out to God and that pain was so deep and he was giving you a comfort that you simply could not understand. You would now all of a sudden your body is rejecting this person. You're around this person and you agitated. That's God said, I'm showing you something that I need you to see. So just carry that baby, okay? All right.
Can I add just an addition? Oftentimes we think that the breaking down starts at cheating. When you found out about the cheating, that's how that man broke you. But a lot of times that man been breaking you for years before it got to the cheating. And this is why, hold on, hear me out. And this is why now you're in such a vulnerable position. When you now find out about the cheating, you're not as strong to be able to have that confidence to walk away. Oftentimes it's a disregard that started earlier in a relationship. It's about me earlier in a relationship. It is those things that he didn't compromise on and you stood for, and you showed him that no matter what, you were going to be there. And I guess what I'm saying is we have to start, and I love how you say it, and maybe you can speak to it, checking things early on in a relationship and letting people know I'm not the one to be fucked with. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I think, a lot of us, speaking from a male perspective, like we get so used to stability that we forget how rare it is.
Come on now.
We talking about 21 years of marriage. This is 21 years of a woman being stable, supporting you, you know what I mean, encouraging you, pouring into you, being that backbone for you to chase your dreams. And we get so used to that we forget and think that can just be replaced with anybody. And then we go out there and attempt to do it and fall flat on our damn face. So I think that in that type of situation, that's what it is. And just like they said, it's never about how people approach you. It's never about the energy that people bring to you. It's about what you entertain. It's about what you accept. It's about what the message that you sent to that man that you're willing to deal with. Going back to what bro said, a lot of times when men jump out the window like that, it was a sign early on that said you wasn't going nowhere.
Come on.
It was a sign early on that said, regardless of what it is that I do, you value me more than the field combined.
I guess the emotion or the history of me having a marriage, a household, my kids, was like, I'm not going anywhere. However, now it's like, pack your shit and go. This is my house. We started from zero. This is my business. We have a company together. We have businesses together. We have 3 beautiful kids, 21 years in. When we started, I was in college. We had nothing. We started from barefoot, nothing, zero in our accounts. I was going to school and working myself for this man. And yes, it's hard to walk away. However, I've asked him to leave. I've been willing to get up and go. However, I still have an 11-year-old.
A lot of times what keeps people in relationships, toxic relationships, is the refusal to leave. And this is when you recognize that there's a power struggle present. And some people will rather stay in a space to where they can hold on to just a little bit of power because deep down they really feel powerless. And they rob themselves of opportunities to heal, grow, and evolve because they're still holding on to what God is trying to beg them to let go of. Little small things that don't feel small to us, but to God feels really small. A house, money. I've seen people let go of millions just to have their peace of mind. And this is where you gotta get to a space to where it's gonna be you or it's gonna be me.
I'm ready.
And this is the thing. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to say that I don't care what has to happen. I'm going to make sure me and my children don't have to go through this, period. There is no words, it's only actions. But another thing, I want to just acknowledge how you feel because I did acknowledge that there was emotion present, which means that that college version of you that first entered that relationship, that never saw this trajectory happening, that's the version of you that's crying. That's the version of you that's grieving, and that's the version of you that is mourning. And you have to give yourself the opportunity to really nurture her the proper way. This is not just about your kids and the 11-year-old. You are a child at heart too, because that child is who entered that relationship. So you have to be mindful that this is survival for you as well. And if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to bleed all of your open wounds onto your kids that are watching you, and they feel all of that energy. The last thing that I'll say, and it'll give you a very clear insight on what wounds need to heal within you. It's a very famous quote that says, if you line up all of your exes, you'll see a flow chart of your own mental illness. Meaning, you'll be very clear on the wounds that got you into that relationship, the traumas that got you into that relationship, and all of those things that you just willfully bypassed. Even though you were young, there were certain flags that were very clear, but when we're operating from our wounds and our traumas, we don't have the capacity to see them. If you make that flow chart and you figure out the common denominators, it'll also show you the things that you need to work on within yourself when you really start your healing journey.
Clap it up.
Thank you.
Good. Mike, did you have a
Well,
Come on, Mike.
I think this was the most beautiful team answer we have ever given in a long time. But although you might assume that in these sorts of situations, it's really some version of love that's keeping these niggas here, and it's not. It's not. It's poverty. It's lack of furniture or like plasticware. It's the threat of alimony and child support plus having to survive, right? Not being the cleanest human being out here. Sometimes you be raising these niggas and you realize that if you don't kick them out, they're really your children. Y'all be making love to them. Y'all be cleaning up after them at the same time. It's really terrible. I think because a lot of times with these guys, when they got enough money, they'll leave. But the poor ones will stay. Make them pay rent. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. I appreciate the question. I appreciate that. All right. What's your name? What's your question?
My name's Tamara. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was here before, and I wanted to give her a hug. But I was going to ask her, say something to her for the last comment. Just seeking God, and everything else will fall in. I've been going through that same thing with my ex-husband. And it's 17 years, and I'm not becoming more.
Talking to the mic, baby.
But my question is, why do a guy grow up after he realized he messed up and he keeps shoving the ball to a woman, and he doesn't realize the effect that he's caused her after putting her through so much BS?
Now, hold on. So, just to be clear, you're saying, why does a man glow up?
No.
Grow up? Why does a man grow up after he fucked up? But you're saying he doesn't realize the damage that he caused to you or the person.
Right.
Now, he's not still with this person.
No.
Now, let me say this before I get into these questions. I want to say this to the room. People will fuck you over and sleep good at night. You are not the karma police. It is not your job to make sure they get their justice. That fight is no longer yours. Sometimes you are spending more time trying to make sure they get what they should get, that now you're not getting what you should get, which is your future, your blessings, that other man, that path and that person purpose that God got for you, because you are so interested in progress watching. And then every time you go to that social media and you see them smiling, it makes you frown, don't it? You see them happy, it makes you sad. The only person that continues to suffer in these situations is you. I need y'all to understand. It would be nice if people realized how they did us dirty. It'd be nice if they come and said, I'm sorry, I needed to grow up, my bad, and they give you some closure. But I'm gonna tell you this, closure is a motherfucking scam. And if you keep trying to wait for somebody to close the door, you become a prisoner of that. So I want you to release that. Now I get in spirit what you're asking for. Why don't they see how wrong they did? Most people won't. They won't. Let me tell you why most people won't. Because a lot of times you think you the first person they done fucked over. They forgot about that previous girl when they moved on to you. And so I just think that it's up to us to have that self-closure and that self-discovery and that growth in order to say, I need to let go. When you free somebody, when you talk about forgiveness, think about forgiving somebody of a debt. You're saying that $5 you owe me ain't worth me chasing you down to get it. So you know what? I'ma forgive you. Which means I ain't gonna fucking worry about it no more. And this is why we need to truly forgive people, because it releases us and the burden on us. Anybody else?
I wanted to say two things that adds on to what you said, Ace, because you made some really good points. The first word I want to mention to you, baby girl, is the word codependency. There's interdependence and codependence. When we are waiting for somebody to release us from a prison that we believe they put us in, that's called codependency. And that's the victim mindset. When we carry a victimized mindset, the life reflects to us back things that will victimize us more. And so we have to reprogram and shift over to a victor mindset that says, as although that this happened, it's not so much him I need to forgive, it's myself for allowing him to do this bullshit to me from the beginning. It's also myself for not knowing when to pivot. And it's also myself for not knowing when to leave soon enough. See, what happens is people dog us, and then we put ourselves in a prison, and we create a fairy tale ideology that we are in their prison, and until we forgive them, we can't be free. But the truth is, it's until you forgive yourself. It's until you say that you are the victor of this. It's until you see the lessons and the blessings of that, you take that, reprogram it, and make it work for you. As the Bible says, see a thing or call a thing as it is, even if it ain't. And it also tells you that everything and all things are working for your good. So if you stand on those principles dogs. That means that when you are being dogged and you can see the good in it, you will receive what? The reflection of the good that you see. And so let's shift your mindset to the victor and get out of the victimized mindset. Although things have happened that can cause victimization, you're not the victim.
Yeah. I say also, man, like, sometimes we just gotta leave people in the dysfunction that they come from. A lot of us just have way, way too good of hearts. Because the reality of a situation like that is those signs were shown way earlier than when we chose to accept them.
Come on.
Right? So we gotta announce at the beginning of the situation, like the dysfunction and all of that shit that you used to, it ain't going that way over here. Like, we communicate over here.
Come on.
Like, we actually love each other genuinely over here. Like, we're actually mature
Over here.
over here.
Over here.
So all of the dysfunctional shit that you used to, if you plan on bringing that over here, then you might as well stay your ass over there.
I agree. I'm not
Hey, I appreciate that.
That's how I'm thinking now.
Hey, I appreciate that. Do you have something?
Yeah, so I remember there was a time where I felt like anybody I would get into a relationship with, they would always leave me for another person. And it would look like they would just level up. And one of the prayers that I prayed was, God, help me see things from the healthiest perspective daily. Mm-hmm. And what was revealed to me is we only see 1% of why a person does what they do. And there's a level of hubris that comes when we victimize ourselves because we don't know what components are happening in their lives that we aren't privy to that are making them respond the way that they respond that have absolutely nothing to do with us. But because we are the center of our universe, we assume that we are the center of other people's universe, when the truth is they aren't considering us at all. That's the real issue. And so what happens is when you take away the addiction to victimizing yourself, and you really become clear on the fact that everybody will be collateral damage in somebody's story. Because until I can evolve to the best version of myself, I have to make mistakes. That means I'm not going to treat everybody perfectly. I'm not going to communicate the best. There will be things that happen to where I will play the villain in certain people's stories. So we have to get out of the addiction to labeling everyone as the villain or the saint, because there will also become a time where you need compassion as well, where you need empathy, and where you need forgiveness, where forgiveness doesn't even make sense, where it shouldn't even be on the table. And so there's an aspect of forgiveness where you just have to learn how to really release. And I spoke about this on our last podcast, where the etymology, which is the origin of a word, the etymology of forgiveness just simply means complete release. And it means no longer holding on to the things that make you feel powerful when you really feel powerless. And there's also a component to where God uses people. He uses us to help people evolve to these places. But because we use karma as our personal assassin, we think that, oh no, God gonna get them. Karma is a bitch. And the truth is, God is like, damn, hold on. I used you as a vessel. You know, I used you as someone that was going to help this person evolve, but then we become jealous and angry and bitter at their glow up, not even understanding that God used us in the best way, even if it was painful, even if it looked like they really did something harmful. To stay in a place of anger is also acknowledging that God isn't in the midst of all things. So we have to pick and choose our struggles, and the people that we choose to forgive, we really have to practice letting go as a daily ritual.
Can I just add one piece? That was real good, Candace. Just simply because at the end, I'm gonna let y'all finish clapping. That was good, my girl. Just simply because at the end of the question, I think you said, what was the end part? What was that? The last piece of your question, I want to make sure I got it right.
The consequences of his actions and the efforts
That's what it was.
now has on her.
And why they can't see the damage that they did to you
You're
and
right.
stuff and all that.
And it's like, I'm seeing that a lot on how certain, I'm trying to be neutral with this. certain people I've dealt with claim that they're a man, but the action showed me something else.
So let me
It's like
let me talk to you.
here, but you want to say you're grown, but you're doing kids.
Let me talk to you one-on-one, baby. And I'm sure I'm gonna be talking to a lot of other people. That's a pride issue. The same way that person can't acknowledge what they did to you is their pride issue, that's your pride issue as well. You are keeping track and you are monitoring. That's not our responsibility to do. We surrender these things to God and let Him be in control. What pride causes when it comes to forgiveness, what pride looks like when a person can't forgive, the only way I can forgive you is if you hurt the way that I hurt. The only way I can forgive you is if you give me, is if I compensate for what you've done for me. That is a pride issue. That's the reason why a lot of people can't forgive. Release that. First of all, why am I worrying about somebody who doesn't belong to me to begin with? They can repent for their sins and be forgiven for the things that they did. They got access to the same grace and mercy that I got access to. So why am I worried about that person to begin with? Let God have that. The issue is a lot of us try to play God. That's not our position to do in the first place. You made a mistake. I acknowledge that. Yeah. You did something hurtful to me. I acknowledge that. It ain't my battle to fight. I give that to God. Let Him fight that battle, because you're going to be fighting a losing battle. You can't win when pride is at the center of something. So if you are dealing with that, God is going to deal with you on that. I don't want to face the wrath of God. I don't want to face God's anger. So I'm going to release what this is. I'm going to forgive you and get my pride under control, because regardless, I still have to make sure that I'm right with what I'm doing. And I don't want to have to stand before God and have to answer for pride. And I'm telling God, well, look at what this person did. You operating in the same prideful spirit. How dare you?
I'm not done.
So hold on, I'm just saying, baby, just if it ain't you or that other person, I don't care.
We speaking through you.
Oh, okay.
We speaking through you.
You may just have to be that person that got to relay the message, you know?
Through you.
That's all I'm saying. But regardless of it is, the root of it is still pride. And I promise y'all, I'm a person who's had to surrender that before. And it's uncomfortable to do it. It really very much so is. But when you let things go, when you let go and let God, man, your life is so free. I don't care about what nobody in my past did to me. Baby, I'm free over here, happy, feet rubbing together in the middle of the night, sleeping good. Okay? So we just gonna let that go, baby. That's all I have to say now.
Mike, you had something on the board.
She threw me, shout out to Kitty, because she threw me the perfect alley-oop, right? But we're talking about two kind of frees here tonight, right? I'm talking about the free, this labor that a lot of these queens be putting in for these guys at a time where shit is hot. They fucking with the stamps. I don't know if y'all know, but they fucking with the stamps. Right? We got oxtails. Oxtails is $40 for the platter. Right? Rent's $2,100. Snap. Right? We got the mani-pedi combo. I remember when I sent the girl for a mani-pedi, it was like $48 with the tip, and I got to pick the color.
Shit.
Now that shit's $120. You want gel? Right? Shit is bad out here. Right? You know, the LA gas is different, but listen. Let's stay focused. I know God loves a cheerful giver, but the giving y'all be doing be having y'all up at that mic ready to cry. That's called suffering. And we don't suffer for free. So if you're gonna pick a struggle bus, make sure the AC work and it got room for the bags under it. You picking up what I'm putting down? We need a disappointment jar in our relationships that niggas could drop $20 off every time they do some weird shit.
That's a good idea.
Okay? Because, I mean, we can do all things through Christ, who strengthen us, but not for free.
I agree. Clap it up.
We got our next question to the mic. Can you imagine that if every time you fucked up, you had to put $20 in a jar? Hold on. Better yet, can you imagine if every time a nigga cheated, he lost an inch? Some niggas couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford it. They can't afford it. They were like, shit, I would, but
But
The reverse Pinocchio is crazy.
Okay, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
Hold on, Marky G, that's a good joke. Write that down. Write that down. Okay, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Crystal, and my question is, how should someone respond when a man, specifically your husband, uses scripture to demand submission and obedience from a woman, yet he's living in open contradiction to those same scriptures, like cheating or failing to lead responsibility?
I'm flipping tables like Jesus. Play with somebody else. I'm flipping tables around here. No, let me be serious for a second. Let me be serious, okay? You know what? I can't, my God, I can't stand a hypocrite. Ooh, that gets under my skin, Jesus. You know what? I'm a person who gonna debate you when it comes to the Bible. You wanna use a scripture? I got a scripture for you too. You wanna talk about submission? I'm gonna talk about leadership. You want to talk about how you treat a person? I'm going to talk about how you're supposed to love your wife. I'm going to talk about those things. I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty. And I'm going to talk to you about what a fool is too. Baby, we're going to take it through Proverbs and Psalms. I'm going to go through the men in the Bible, okay? So because what people do, there's a such thing as spiritual abuse and spiritual manipulation, and a lot of people utilize that because a lot of people like to be in control. A lot of people do. A lot of people like to be able to have people comply with what they need and stuff like that. And sometimes that validates a person's very existence because their identity is tied to how they can get people to comply and how they can control people. When you recognize that spirit, you don't got to fight against that. Y'all know I always say this all the time. We don't got, it's certain fights that are just not ours. We don't have to. But if somebody ever does that, know your word. That's the reason why I always tell people, know your Bible in and out. Because if you say something against me, I'm quick to say, well, the Bible says this as well. I'm going to take you to the chapter and the verse. I'm going to take you to a parallel and a supporting scripture as well. Because what God never has to do is he never has to exploit anybody to get them to comply. He never has to exploit anybody to get them to follow him. That's something that the enemy does. So when we acknowledge that the enemy is governing somebody else's abilities and decisions and behaviors, we go ahead and let that be. So if that's what's happening, especially in a marriage, I don't know if this is your husband or somebody else, if that's what's happening, then how about we both go stand at the feet of God and let's see what God has to say. How about we both fast and let's see what God has to say, and let's see if God approves of what it is that you're saying, because I want to know what's the motive behind it. I want to know what is the motive behind it, because first of all, why do you have to use scripture to get me to submit? If you're leading the way that you are supposed to, I'm going to submit. If you're doing what you're supposed to, I'm going to submit. God has always shown himself as faithful, so I submit because there is proof in his faithfulness. Have you given me proof or reason to be able to follow you? Where God is, we have refuge and safety. Have you given me safety to make me feel safe enough to be able to follow you? If you had not done that, you're not even in a position to be doing so to begin with. You're not in a position to have these conversations because you're not being Christ-like. So why are we having a conversation? Before you try to get me in order, make sure you get your house and your heart in order before you try to get me to comply. That's my point.
All right, Mike. Unfortunately, I gotta be serious, so I want to get the serious stuff out the way. As an adult, I'm not ready to flip the board yet. As an adult, one of the things that I've learned, because I had to redo dating as I got older, because in the beginning, I thought dating as a man was performance. I thought it meant I had to get my hair cut, I had to get my car clean, I had to find a nice restaurant, I had to find a nice outfit and then perform. I had to open doors, I had to bring flowers, I had to ask questions, I had to give compliments, then I had to take you home, and then I had to give myself an opportunity and maybe I could do that again. And I thought that's how a man is supposed to date a woman, and I was wrong. And then I realized that a lot of the women that I was in relationships were deeper than single. They did not have a relationship with God. So when our relationship started, it was just me and her. And one thing I realized is that there needs to be 3 people in a relationship.
Come on.
And for me, it's like I'm bringing God with me, and then if you bring God with you, then we've got our Trinity. Now I want to talk about the leadership part, because a lot of times when men are in the infancy stage of their leadership, they think this way. They think it's God gives it to me and then I give it to you. But it's a triangle. It's a triangle, and Kitty said it perfect, because she says when we go through things, we both go to the feet of God. But it's a triangle. It's not like God told me to do this, so I'm going to tell you to do this, and it's like this runway, and the woman is at the bottom. I give men grace, because we're only having to now learn how to lead outside and inside. Before it was the outdoorsy shit, Mike. Fix the car, we got flats, we got bills, kids want to go to Disney. Now I need to be emotionally available, I need to be spiritually connected, and I gotta be soft, because they're the kids don't need to hear. So I give the men the grace, and I appreciate any man that has a relationship with God, because he's the person that's gonna get you through your times, not your homeboys who don't respect your marriage, not your co-workers who bringing you lunch. So this is for anybody in a relationship or seeking to be in a relationship. That third person is what's gonna save you from a lot of the stuff that we see here.
I'll say this, just real quick. I think that we be paying more attention to how unqualified the man is, when we should be paying attention to how did an unqualified man get in that position to begin with. I think that a lot of us be so like in love with the finish line that we forget the journey. We get to skipping steps and shit. Like, he should have never been in a leadership position. So we got to dig deep and figure out, what is it about me?
They don't like this part.
What is it about me that allowed a man that doesn't display leadership, that doesn't display consistency, that doesn't display maturity, to get into a position of leader of my household?
What did I write on the board when I came out here?
Gas.
What was it? I wrote on the board when I came out here, I said it is a thin line between loyalty and low self-esteem. To my guy's point, sometimes we have to give honor to the position we play in our own suffering. And sometimes it's because we was raised off suffering. We're suffering in our job. We're suffering in our community. We're suffering with our family. We're suffering with how we feel about ourselves. So how you do one thing sometimes is how you do a little bit of everything. But there's a thin line between being strong and faithful and patient and honest and safe and being weak and being naive. Knowing you got 99 reasons to slide, but you got that one thing that keep you there. It's a thin line between loyalty and low self-esteem.
What's your name? What's your question?
Hey guys, my name is Ashley, and my question is, why do certain men prefer toxic hoes over wanting a wife? When they claim that they want a good woman.
First of all,
Help me! Just saying.
Okay, so why do some men prefer toxic hoes
Correct.
over wives?
Correct. When they claim they want a good woman.
Okay, do you want to take a stab? Do you want to take a stab at it?
Listen. Yeah, because so thank you for, I love the question.
Thank you.
This is the thing. We keep putting the blame on who the man is choosing. If we showing up, listen, what we lead with, we value.
Okay.
I said at the Invest Fest panel we were on, I said when a woman leads with her vagina and she gets a man who just wants vagina, why you're mad that the man wants pussy? When a man leaves with just money and you get a woman who just want to gold dig you, why are you mad because she got her hand out? So I think we need to flip it into accountability that says, if I'm running into men, similar to what Trill just said with the last question, who are only seeing me as a toxic hoe, what am I calibrating within myself that's putting out there that I would even attract or entertain a man that wants a toxic hoe? When you realize that that man wanted that hoe and you weren't her, why you didn't pivot at that moment?
I feel like, hold on, just to add some balance, I feel like hoes are getting a bad rep during this conversation. Because who made this woman a hoe? Who? Because we don't know. She's a good girl, okay? She's really good. She's supportive. She listens to my problems. She makes me sandwiches, and her throat gobbles shit. So I just think we need some balance here.
And also, and again, I hate to have to play the bad guy again, but I will.
Go ahead.
A lot of women are so focused on being a wife that you forget to be fun, and you forget to be a hoe as well. Like, hold on.
I wasn't gonna go that far.
Hold on. When I met you, you was doing whole shit too.
Well, wait a minute. That's different.
That's what got you the spot. That's what got you the spot. And then you became a wife, and then shit got too healthy. You became a wife, and shit got too biblical. Sometimes.
Wait, what's that, AK?
Sometimes. Wait. Sometimes we want the hoe that we signed up for. That's also a wife. Because you can do both. I think in a lot of these conversations, we kind of be forgetting, like, you either got to be this super church going, holier than thou, healthy ass woman, or you got to be a hoe. No, sometimes you can be both.
So a church hoe.
A church hoe.
See.
Hey, hold on. All right. Okay, so all right, I know we went a little toxic here. Okay, man. So I'm gonna let some other people answer so we can balance this out, because
That's the real. I see. I got you.
Because I still agree that hoes get a bad rep. Okay.
Well, I mean, let's think about it. Right? We here? Okay. Yeah, so your question was, why would a man prefer that whole life over being a spouse? And it's because at home, shit is serious.
Okay.
Shit is serious, and there's not a lot of sparkle, right? Sparkle, right? It's like, you know, I lived with a woman before, and it's like, damn, soup again. You know? But when, like, wife problems are different problems. You know, with a hoe, I need 42, a hookah, and a room. Not Costco, mortgage, I don't know. And then to Trill's point, the sexes are down in long-term relations, right? I mean, I think you maxed out, well, like when you really locked in, I think you probably maxed out at 6 sexes a month. 6
and a possible.
Right.
Yeah, 6 and a possible.
These girls, the hoes give rounds,
I disagree.
right?
And hold on.
Heads.
And heads, nigga, to completion without asking.
I disagree.
Don't have to ask. See how they quiet? Because they know they don't do it.
But I mean, I don't know.
Suck.
I don't know if the wives need to have a staff meeting and be like, "Yo, we gotta up our cookies," or do we love a man that comes home every night?
That's a good point.
No.
So listen.
I lost y'all, didn't I?
No. I got it.
Well, no, I mean after the hoe. Like, come home at night after the hoe. Like,
But so, before we go further, because I do want to make sure we don't lose the frame of your question.
Thank you.
Because I want to just answer it seriously. Sometimes people are not in the season of their lives to receive that wifely blessing.
Okay.
And there's a lot of women right now that you're not in the season in your life to receive that husband blessing. And so what happens, instead of sitting your ass at the house, you go out and you play around too. And because you are playing around, you don't even want a man that's serious.
Come on.
So you mess with men that can distract you.
I like that.
And that's what happens.
Wait a minute.
And vice versa. You like that
DIC
distraction. Yes, distraction. Yes.
How you
Yes.
spell that? How you spell that?
All right. so I think it's where that person is in their life.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell you, the things that I enjoyed as a younger man compared to what I enjoy now is completely different. I was having a conversation the other day, and I was talking about just how my appetite for intimacy has changed as an adult. Like, there are times I just want to fucking be held. And that's it.
Little spoon,
nigga. Put them titties on my back. Oh my God. Nigga, what? Ooh, right in between my shoulder blades. Right in between my shoulder blades. Okay, does anybody have a healthy answer before we end? Because we can end it like this. Because I'm pretty